I'd like you to begin this meditation just by bringing to mind the image of either a violin or a cello or a guitar or a double bass, anything that has that kind of shape, with the neck and the body and the strings. A beautiful instrument, almost in the shape of an hourglass. And this short meditation is based on that kind of shape. So we begin at the neck and the fretboard, up at the top of the instrument. This is where all the busyness goes on, the fingers pressing down hard on the strings in order to make the notes. This can represent the busyness of your life, your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences right now. A wide open awareness. This is often the bit that causes much pain in the musician. We often have to press down hard, contort our fingers into unnaturally strange positions, leave them there for quite a while. And so it is with our lives too. So just being aware of how busy your awareness is right now. How hard have you been trying to accomplish just to keep yourself afloat? Like the graceful swan paddling frantically underneath the water. Just be aware of the busyness of your life. Where you're coming to this meditation from. And then we move down our image of the violin or the cello or the guitar, down towards the bridge of the instrument. The bridge is the bit that supports the strings as they travel over the body of the instrument. The bridge's function is to transfer the vibrations of the strings into the body of the instrument. So this is where we narrow down the focus of our own awareness down into the narrow focus of our breathing. So just being aware of your breathing right now. And it's interesting to think of our breathing acting as a bridge between our busy lives and the rest of our body. Perhaps its function too is to transfer the vibrations of the various strings in our own lives into the body. So just being aware of your breathing for the next few moments. And then we gently move our awareness down the image of the violin or the cello or the guitar, down into the main body of the instrument. This is the part that's also a reflection of our own bodies, having an upper part, the chest, a waist, the bit that allegedly goes in a bit in the middle, and the lower part, which represents our abdomen. Again, it's perhaps an interesting thing to think about that the body of the instrument is there to amplify the sounds from the strings. And so too does our own body amplify the vibrations from our thoughts, emotions, and experiences. So just being aware of your body right now. How is it amplifying what's going on in your world right now? And then just being curious as to whether you can be aware of yourself as a whole, just as you can bring to mind an image of a violin, cello, or guitar. Just being aware of you as this strong, unified whole presence that works so hard to produce the music of your life. Occasionally we enjoy the sound that the various notes make as they come together in a beautiful piece of music. But more often than not, we struggle to get the finger positions right. The tone and pitch are not always easy on the ear. The timing's off. However, we might come to realise that it's in the constant practice that there's most joy. Acknowledging that we're far from perfect while still enjoying the journey. Like each and every one of us, being perfectly imperfect, it's okay to be you in this very moment, right now. By the time it came to the edge of the forest, the stream had grown up so that it was almost a river. And being grown up, it didn't run and jump and sparkle along as it used to do when it was younger, but it moved more slowly, for it knew now where it was going, and it said to itself, "There's no hurry." That was a short extract from Winnie the Pooh. So whether your mind is like a fast-running stream or a slow-flowing river, both are incredibly powerful. Your mind uses words and pictures in order to make sense of your own thinking, in order to make sense of the world. However, we often end up thinking too much, especially when we're going through difficulties or problems. We try and think our way out of them, and end up thinking more and more, sometimes spiralling out of control. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. Words are our most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of both influencing injury and remedying it. Albus Dumbledore said that in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So if they are an inexhaustible source of magic, perhaps we might like to be open to using them more positively, and perhaps starting with ourselves. So you might like to offer yourself, a few words of kindness, a few words of compassion. May I be safe. May I be content. May I give and receive gratitude. May I love and be loved. May I be safe. May I be content. May I give and receive gratitude. May I love and be loved. Most of us know the story of the two wolves. But did you know that Sirius Black said, "We all have both light and dark inside of us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are." He said that in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So just bringing your awareness to your breathing. Each gentle in-breath, each gentle out-breath. Perhaps noticing the gap in between each breath, where the in-breath stops and the out-breath starts, and the out-breath stops and the in-breath starts. And while you're focusing on your breathing, I'll share with you a brief story. It's probably one you've heard before. It's about a stone cutter. There was once a stone cutter who was very dissatisfied with himself and with his position in life. One day he passed a wealthy merchant's house, and through the open window saw many fine possessions. How powerful that merchant must be, the stonecutter thought. He wished he could be the merchant, and to his great surprise he suddenly became the merchant. But soon he saw a very important high official who passed by. He was carried in a sedan chair, accompanied by attendants. How strong and powerful he must be, and he wished he could be the high official. And lo and behold, suddenly he became the important high official. He was carried everywhere in his embroidered sedan chair, feeling very important. It was a hot summer day, and he suddenly felt very uncomfortable. He looked up at the sun that shone so proudly in the sky, unaffected by his presence. He wished he could be the sun. And suddenly he became the sun, shining fiercely down on everyone and scorching all the fields. But then a huge black cloud moved between him and the earth, so that his light could no longer shine on everything below. How powerful that cloud is! He wished he could be the cloud. And then, lo and behold, he became the cloud, flooding the fields and the villages. But soon he found he was being pushed away by a great force, and he realized it was the wind. How great and powerful is the wind, he thought. He wished he could be the wind. And then suddenly he became the wind, blowing tiles off the roofs and uprooting trees. But then he came up against something that would not move. It just would not budge. A huge, towering stone. How powerful that stone is, he thought. He wished he could be the stone. Then suddenly he became the stone, and he thought he was now more powerful than anything else on earth. But as he stood there, he heard the sound of a hammer chiseling away into the solid rock. He felt himself being changed. What could be more powerful than me? And he looked down and saw far below him the figure of the stone cutter. bringing your awareness towards your breathing again. Just noticing each in-breath, noticing each out-breath. And just bringing gently to mind the image of a loved one, as though they're there sitting in front of you right now. And perhaps you'd like to offer them those same kind and compassionate, positive words. May you be safe. May you be content. May you give and receive gratitude. May you love and be loved. May you be safe. May you be content. May you give and receive gratitude. May you love and be loved. Do you remember the story of the ugly duckling? When did the ugly duckling stop feeling ugly? When he realised that he was in fact a swan. Each one of us has something special, a swan of some sort, hidden inside somewhere. But until we recognise that it's there, what can we do but just splash around treading water? There are things about ourselves that we might feel we need to get rid of. There are things about ourselves that we feel we need to change. But at the same time, we don't need to be too desperate, too ruthless, too striving. Because along the way to usefulness and happiness and compassion, many of those things will change all by themselves. The first thing we perhaps need to do is recognise and trust our own inner nature and not lose sight of it. For within the ugly duckling is the swan. In the stories written by A. Milne, inside the bouncy tigger was the rescuer who knew the way. Inside the timid piglet there was the brave one, even though he was only a very small animal. And in each of us is something special that we need to keep hold of. For a long time they looked at the river beneath them, saying nothing, and the river said nothing too, for it felt very quiet and peaceful on this summer afternoon. "Tigger is all right, really," said Piglet lazily. "Of course he is," said Christopher Robin. "Everybody is, really," said Pooh. Bringing to mind your breathing again, noticing each in-breath, noticing each out-breath. Being aware of where you notice your breathing. Today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you, said Dr. Seuss. So now just moving on to the next part of our meditation, bringing to mind the image of a stranger. The word stranger is a funny thing, isn't it? Why are they strange? Because we don't know about them, we don't understand them. Bringing to mind somebody who you don't know very well. And perhaps offering them the same loving, kind, compassionate words. May you be safe. May you be content. May you give and receive gratitude. May you love and be loved. May you be safe. May you be content. May you give and receive gratitude. May you love and be loved. Being different isn't a bad thing. It just means that you're brave enough to be yourself, said Luna Lovegood in the Harry Potter books. And so I'm just wondering whether you can move your awareness gently into your body, noticing whatever's going on within your body right now. Keeping that same awareness with your breathing. Breathing into your whole body. Perhaps noticing any tension that may have crept in. And likewise noticing any feelings of relaxation and comfort. Perhaps being aware of any subtle sensations within your body right now. Lion lies sleeping, silent and still. Along comes a mouse and thinks he's a hill. Up the great body the little mouse goes, through hair and mane and down Lion's nose. But Lion wakes up and gives a great roar, catches poor mouse in his long cruel claw. "How dare you walk over your king and your lord? For this only death shall be your reward." The little mouse shivers and shudders with fright, tries hard to think how to put things aright. "Forgive my mistake, mighty Lion, I pray, and I promise to help you too some day." At this Lion laughs and shakes to and fro, but is now in good humour and lets the mouse go. Days come and days go, and some hunters passed by, who set a great lion trap, cunning and sly. Lion walks in, unaware of the threat, and suddenly finds himself caught in the net. Frustrated he roars with wrath and despair. Little Mouse hears how he's caught in the snare. She remembers her promise and runs without pause to the spot where the lion so rages and roars. Sharp little teeth set to gnawing the rope, thread after thread. Now the lion feels hope. Soon there's a hole and the lion is freed. The mouse has kept her promise indeed. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Aesop's Fables. You see, the trouble is, I don't understand, and I don't like what I don't understand, said Mrs. Arable in Charlotte's Web. So bringing to mind now, perhaps somebody you may have difficulty with. In inverted commas, an enemy. Somebody who you don't understand, perhaps. Just seeing if you can offer them some loving, kind words, words of compassion. May you be safe. May you be content. May you give and receive gratitude. May you love and be loved. May you be safe. May you be content. May you give and receive gratitude. May you love and be loved. The prejudices that we often feel about each other disappear when we get to know each other, said Captain James T. Kirk on the Starship Enterprise. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. And that, of course, is taken straight from the theme tune of the American sitcom Cheers. What if there is no need to change? What if there is no need to change? No need to transform yourself into someone who is more compassionate, more present, more loving, or wise? How would this affect all the places in your life where you're endlessly trying to be better or different? What if the task is simply to unfold, to become who you are already in your essential nature? Gentle, compassionate, and capable of living fully and passionately present. What if the question is not, Why am I so infrequently the person I really want to be? But why do I so infrequently want to be the person I really am? How would this change what you think you have to learn? What if becoming who and what we truly are happens not through striving and trying, but by recognizing and receiving the people and places and practices that are for us the warmth of encouragement we need to unfold? How would this shape the choices you make about how to spend today? What if you know that the impulse to move in a way that creates beauty in the world will arise from deep within and guide you every time you simply pay attention and wait? How would this shape your stillness, your movement, your willingness to follow this impulse to just let go and dance? What if there is no need to change? And that was by Oriah Mountain Dreamer.